Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I'm going to be doing like a swirly rainbowy effect sort of design with a bit of glitter, and I'm just going to first go over what colours I'm going to be using before we get started. So I'm going to be using white, which is just Alaska, but obviously you can use whatever white you want. I'm using Peachy Nude as my base as always, and then I've got 4 different colours here. This is like what the tops look like. And then underneath we've got hot sauce, peach martini. So that's hot sauce. This is peach martini. And then we've got Florida and lemonade here as well. So we're going for nice summery brights. I'm going to be doing 3 different nails. And then, like I said, I'm going to be using white and then also Glamour Gel 14. Because I haven't used this one on camera yet. And it's this beautiful like coppery colour. It's absolutely stunning. So we're going to be using that as well. So first things first, I'm just going to do 2 coats of Peachy Nude on all 3 nails, and then I can come back here when we're ready to do the design. Okay, so once it's come out of the lamp, I'm now going to start my design. So I'm going to do the longest winded one first, because I'm going to have to keep popping this into the lamp and bringing it back out again. So I'm just creating a line with this first of all. And then once I've done that, I'm going to do every opposite colour, so I don't have to keep putting it in the lamp, taking it out, putting it in the lamp, taking it out, and so on. So I'm going to do this colour first, and then I'm going to miss out the colour that I'm going to put directly next to it, and I'm going to do the 3rd colour next, leaving a gap between the 2 colours for me to put then the other colour in the middle. Just making it a little bit thicker because I want to be able to see each colour. And again the opposite. And this just prevents us having to, what's it called, every single... I think I'm using the wrong colour. Am I? No, I'm not. This prevents us having to flash cure every single layer, every single line that we do, which obviously is going to save a lot of time. So I'm not too bothered about getting every line the exact same thickness or anything. That just adds to the design, I think. I just want to make sure that each line is thick enough for me to be able to see. It basically. I'm just trying to pull those, what's it called, out. The air bubbles. My brain went completely dead then. Couldn't for the life of me figure out what I was trying to say. I'm just pulling those out of the way. Like so. And then I'm going to go in again with the opposite colour. I am actually going to be using 4 colours, but it's gonna be like the dark orangey colour, and then peach martini, and then Florida, and then lemonade. So obviously I'm doing just these 2 at first, and then I'll do the other 2 when I've cured these 2 basically. But you could do 1 line at a time if that would make you more confident, because obviously the only problem I've got with doing it this way is if I do mess up one of the lines, chances are I might have to start again. So it is beneficial to, what's it called, to flash cure, because then if anything does go wrong, like if I dropped this now, they'd all smudge and stuff, whereas if I'd flash cured, at least it will keep them still, just in case, because you never know. But anyway, I'm going to finish off doing these 2 colours, and then I will show you filling it in. Okay, so while that first one is in the lamp, I'm now going to just do the next one. So I'm starting out with a completely different shape this time. I'm going like more of a swirly pattern. Just totally random, just taking it where my brush takes me. Not putting too much effort in. Well, not too much effort, I'm not putting too much thought in, is what I should say. So I'm just going to make this line a little bit thicker. Like that. And then once I'm happy, I'm going to pop that. No, I'm not. I'm going to do the second line in the next colour. Again, if you're not like wanting to do this like me, like you could definitely flash cure between colours if you don't trust yourself to not mess up, which I don't either. I'm just being brave. And then again, once I'm happy, I'm going to pop that into the lamp. So the other one is now done. So I just need to fill this in with the other colours. I've popped a coat of, you're probably wondering why I even bothered painting this peachy nude, but it was just because I wanted the colours to look the exact same on this nail as they do on the others. And obviously on the others, I'm going to be painting over the peachy nude. So that was the only reason that I did it for. So I'm just going between those lines now with the two other colours. Obviously you can do this with whatever colours you want, but I wanted to keep it nice and summery, so I chose these ones. I'm just making sure that the colours slightly overlap to make sure we don't get any shadowing. So I'm going to do all of the lines that need to be this colour straight away, just because it's already on my brush and it saves me having to keep wiping it off. It's much easier now, we're just basically filling in a gap instead of creating the design. So I'm just going to do this sped up, else it's going to get really long and really boring. So I'm going to do it sped up again on another little time lapse, and then we can carry on with the design once it is finished. I just need to tidy this one up because I seem to have lost the plot. So while that one is back in the lamp, I'm just going to go ahead and do this one again. So I'm doing the two colours that I am left to do, basically. Same as the other nail, doing the same, what's it called, order of colour. Just to tie it all in together. I haven't really figured out what I'm going to be doing with the third nail yet. Hence why I haven't started it yet, but it's going to be something relatively straightforward, just to keep the video as quick as possible. Not as quick as possible, but not like mega long. There we go, and then I'm just going to do the colour in between those two colours. Just to do that. And then we can move on to the next step. I'm surprised I haven't actually got to a point where I've ended up regretting not flash curing yet, because I usually flash cure like ridiculous amounts off camera typically. So I don't just disappear for 10 seconds every now and then from the video, but I do tend to flash cure a lot as I go along. But I'm just getting on with it this time. There we go. And then once I'm happy, I'm just going to fill this bit in down here. And once I'm happy with it, I'm just going to pop that into the lamp. Perfect. I'm popping that straight in. And I'm going to show you the other one because that is now fully cured. So this is what this one looks like. Very pretty. So this one isn't finished. I am going to do some more on top of it, but I'm going to put it to the side for a second because I do need to do something with this other nail. I think I'm going to do something relatively similar to the other one with this, just a different angle of swirl shape basically. So I'm going to do this completely off camera, like not even in a, what's it called, like not even in a time lapse or anything, because you're probably getting really bored of seeing me do swirls now. So I'm just going to do this out of the way, and then I can come back and start the next part of the design, which luckily you'll be pleased to hear isn't long-winded and won't take very long. Okay, so all three are out of the lamp now. This is what they're looking like. I absolutely love how they're turning out so far. I think these colours go together really well. So we're just going to basically just add a few bits and bobs now just to finish them off. Nothing too crazy because obviously there's already quite a lot going on. I don't feel like we need to go a bit overkill. So what I'm going to do now is get a dotting tool first of all. Actually no, I'm not going to do that first. I'm going to do it the other way around. So I'm getting my copper Real Bird Glamour Gel. I'm going to get the brush that I use with these. Make sure it's clean from the last time I used it. There we go. And then I'm just going to do random lines. So we're just going to do 2 lines next to each other. Sort of want them to be total opposites. Not so much that. So I'm going to do a line here. I want it to be quite thick because I want you to be able to see it. Just noticed I'm not even in focus, sorry about that. I'm taking that all the way off the side of the nail. I'm trying to get this as smooth as possible, but it's tricky because obviously the bit where the lines are isn't smooth because it's got multiple colours there. And then I think, actually no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go back to my original plan. My original plan wasn't to do horizontal lines, it was to do more swirly type of lines. And I feel like that, oh gosh, I've just made it even worse. I feel like that would be better. See, I might actually just add to the swirls that are already on here. This is the only problem with this Glamour Gel, is that getting it off when you don't want it is just really difficult. So I'm just doing that first off camera because it's stressing me out basically. Right, I've got it, and everywhere that it's still left on the nail isn't a problem because that's where I'll be putting it now anyway, so it's fine. So I'm going to be going in just next to the darker line. So same way I've just done those, but I'm just going to be using the glitter instead. I just really want some glitter in it because I'm going to be adding some pretty like flowers as well, and I want this to go in the middle of them. I'm just creating a line. I'm just going into my gel, like picking up a tiny bit as I go along and then adding it and then picking up a bit more. It's much easier to control when you do it bit by bit instead of like getting a big blob on your brush and then having to spread it out. And as you've just witnessed, it is a nightmare when you put it somewhere that you end up not wanting it and then having to remove it. So I try my best to only put it exactly where I want it. So that's that one on there. I'm going to pop that into the lamp for a full cure. And then on this one, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I absolutely love these Glamour Gels because they're not really like glittery as such. They're more like flakes in a sort of like jelly gel polish. So it's they're very different to anything else that I've got. Very different to your typical glittery gel polishes. So it's nice to have glittery gel polishes and the glamour gels because you get the best of both types. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to pop that one in as well. And now I just need to figure out how I'm going to get this in here. I think I'm just going to outline this one with it. So just going around the outside of the whole nail. I want it thick enough to see it, but not too thick. Again, just picking up like little bits as I go along. This is basically my answer to everything. Like if I'm not sure what to do with a nail, just outline it. And it's funny because it actually is like, it just works with everything. It makes everything look a bit more special when it's got a nice glittery outline. So if you're ever unsure what to do with the rest of a design, just throw an outline on it. It's all you need. Just finishing that top bit off. That's it. Have a look. Just got a little bit more up here. There we go, nice and subtle. So I'm just going to pop that into the lamp. The other two are done now, so I'm just going to finish these ones off. So I'm going to do, like I said, some flowers. So I just need a dotting tool for this step and my white. So I'm going to be using my large dotter. I'm just going to get this gel out of the way before I put my arm in it by accident, because that happens far too often. I'm just going to create some of those I'm going to do 2, I think. Those 5 dot flowers is what I call them, because I don't know what else to call them. So just focus on getting my dots down first and then going in with my dotter a few times to get them exactly how I want them. I'm joining them up ever so slightly, just like that, and I'm going to put this in the lamp for 10 seconds to flash cure it, because I don't want that to keep falling into each other. And then once that's finished, I'm going to do another one as well, a little bit further up, so here. So I'm just, like I said, focusing on getting those dots down, and when they're down I can just go over then with my dotter, join them up a little bit more, create more of a shape, get them exactly how I want them. And then once I've done that, that one's not quite touching. You don't have to have them touching, but that's just the look I'm going for in this set. So I'm going to pop that in the lamp for a full cure. And while that's in there, I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to do one up here and one further down. So you'd have 3 dots to start with. It's much easier to just get the dots down, because then you're not spending too much time doing 1 dot at a time. Because obviously as soon as they start to touch each other, they're going to start to bleed into each other. So you need to work relatively quick at that point then, to make sure they don't just become one huge blob. Okay, that will do. So I'm going to pop that in for 10 seconds again, just to keep that still. So I am going to do some on here as well. So I'm just going to get them, I'm just going to test the waters and see whether I can get away with doing it straight onto these lines, or whether I'm going to need to put a base coat down to smooth it all out first. I think we'll be alright with dots, especially if I work quickly and don't really give them too much chance to seep between the lines and create too much texture. Okay, perfect. I'm going to pop that in as well, so that can be in while I'm doing this other one. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to do one more. Just need a little bit more white polish. Don't want to have to get some out while I'm mid dots. I never used to be able to do these flowers, and I know that sounds really silly because they're probably like the easiest flowers to do, but I could just never get the 5 dots where I wanted them, and it always just looked really uneven and just a mess, but I got there in the end, thank goodness. So there's those two. That can go in for a full cure now, and I'm just going to do the other one on here because I'm doing 2 on each nail. I'm just making these dots slightly bigger. Perfect. I'm going to pop that into the lamp. Just waiting for those to cure now, and then we can finish off with our finished touches, which is basically just going to be this as a dot, like in the middle of the flowers. So we'll do that in a second. Okay, so I'm using the other side of my dotting tool this time, so I've got more control over how big the dot gets. And I'm just popping it in the middle of those 5 dots. Just like that, so I can pop that back in the lamp. I'm doing the same on all of the flowers. And then last but not least, got this snail. These glamour gels are absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to, as you can probably tell, use them in my videos more often. I don't know what is going on there with that little blob of white. But he's going to have to stay because I don't have the patience to get rid of it. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to use these glamour gels more often in my videos because they're just stunning. And I've got all of them and I just don't use them enough in videos. I use them on clients quite often, to be honest. They're very popular, but I never think to get them out for videos. So I'm trying to do that. So I'm going to put that away now. And then when these are fully cured, I will take them out and top coat them and then obviously pop them back in the lamp. And then I will show you what they all look like when they're finished. So here is the final result. I absolutely love how they turned out, to be honest. I think they're so cute. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll be back, as always, really soon with another one. Bye!